amazing voice. Like, I feel like you listen to it for 5 seconds and you're like blown away. Like, have you always been singing? Is that just something you grew up doing?
Yeah, definitely. Yep, since I could, maybe before I could talk, I think.
And when was the moment when you knew you wanted to pursue this?
I mean, I think I've kind of always known I wanted to do music. And so out of necessity, I started posting videos on YouTube because I come from a little tiny town in Wisconsin with thousands of people. And so it was about 6 months into posting videos on YouTube that I got some attention from some bigger companies. And I was like, oh, I'm doing something right. Maybe I should keep doing this.
And that was your motivation to keep going.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And then when it comes to choosing what songs you're going to do, how do you go through that process?
I mean, I usually look at the top 40. It's generally where I pick them from just because that's songs that are being searched. But I never sing a song that I don't like either. So it has to be a top 40 song that's something I vibe with and enjoy, which is kind of sometimes hard to find.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And what about the actual production of like the videos and everything like that?
I mean, it usually just starts with an arrangement, and it's something that usually comes something from me. And so I just do the arrangement, and then we play the instruments, and then go into the vocal, and then the next day we do the video.
Okay. Yeah. And then how do you come up with like the concept of the video and all that process?
For the cover songs, it's pretty simple. We just need to find a really pretty location or a really nice studio, and it just takes like less than an hour to shoot them. So it's pretty.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. And then how quick of a turnaround is it normally to get it all up?
I guess it depends on the editor, but usually the video takes like 4 hours to edit, so you can usually have it within a week of assembly.
And then you've also done vlogging as well, and like done in a foray into that world. And how's that process been? Like, what's it been like?
Bizarre. I mean, I like singing, and singing is easy for me. And like going up on stage, the talking part of being up on stage is really hard for me. So vlogs have been interesting.
But you had Hannah Hart who helped you out, right?
Yeah.
So what was that like filming?
She's great. She's just one of my favorite YouTubers.
And how did that collaboration connection sort of happen?
Her manager is my manager.
Oh,
so,
perfect.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's how it works sometimes in the YouTube world. Yeah, all of that kind of stuff. And then in the future for you, sort of what do you have coming up?
I'm writing right now for my album, and so then after the writing's finished, then the production, and once the production's done, then we'll release the album with the tour. So that'll be fun.
Oh my gosh. And is it going to be just a North American tour, do you think, to start out with?
I'm not sure yet. If the headlining tour, it'll be North America to start with. But if I'm an opener act, I'll just go wherever that.
And then what stage are you at the writing process right now?
I am either one song away or 4 or 5 songs away, depending on if I want to do an album or EP.
Okay. And what's going to be the deciding factor for you?
Just if I can write the right amount of songs in the right amount of time.
Yeah, absolutely. So you have a deadline for yourself of when you want to be?
Sort of. I try not to give myself strict deadlines for being creative because it's hard to be like, I'm going to sit down today and be creative.
Yeah.
You know? Sometimes you just have to let it flow out of you. So, I mean, I'm hoping by like mid-fall we'll have something finished.
Yeah. And are these songs that like you've written a long time ago or stuff you've written recently? Or
all the stuff is going to be stuff that I've written recently because about 4 months ago I discovered the direction I wanted to go with my album. Growing up, I've just been a huge fan of like fantasy fiction and magic and Disney princesses and things like that. And so like Alice in Wonderland is one of my favorite books, and Edgar Allan Poe is like an amazing poet. And so that's like, I grew up being inspired by that, and I never knew how I was going to be able to incorporate that to my music until I was like, oh, let's write songs that are sort of modern but sort of fairy tale at the same time. And then I found that direction and just love what I'm doing right now.
That's awesome. That sounds really unique, like a very unique direction. That's really cool. And then you have your new album coming out, and do you have the release date yet? Is that
not yet?
Okay,
not yet.
But coming up soon.
But yeah.
Okay, cool. And then a tour, hopefully, right after that, and I'm sure more covers and everything like that.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much. Lots to keep an eye out for. So thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, absolutely.
Cool. Thanks so much. Bye.